gonna come in and just grab some more beers. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Don't be scared there, boys. Oh, boys, shit, it's like popping your fucking cherry again. It's been a minute, huh? You got 86 out of here for a while.
Shut up. No time. Fuck, I passed out one time.
Yeah, you told me about it.
I know.
I had to call 911. Hey, what do you mean?
Why don't we talk about it?
Fucking, that's a hack of the world.
I know.
3 IVs. Fuck. No insurance. What?
Hey, man, some folks
No,
just
I
weren't
had
cut out for
insurance.
this sort of thing.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You don't need it, though.
I know, but I had insurance. What do you mean no insurance?
You didn't need insurance, though.
Oh, we didn't need anything.
You needed some help. It sounded like.
Yeah.
Sound like you needed to fucking wake up.
Well,
I
I just
couldn't-
very
I could not-
dehydrated. Dog.
I literally couldn't wake him up.
Hey, okay. we get it.
Unrousable.
Yeah.
He was kicking me in the bottom of my feet.
Oh,
I was
no.
kicking him so hard. Like, literally.
My heart started racing, and I just fucking woke up, man. And I said, "You
Yeah.
called the cops?" They're like, "Sir, we're not the police or the ambulance." I'm like, "Well, how much is this gonna fucking cost?"
I ain't getting in that motherfucker.
Yeah. And he goes, "It's free." I was like, "Well, fuck, I'll call you every morning I'm hungover. I'm passed out every fucking Saturday morning."
It
That weird?
seriously was like that. I swear to God.
Thanks to the taxpayers of Evergreen,
And they
Colorado.
were like, "Have you done any drugs?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I hardly drank." And the guy picked up this bottle. He's like, "Who drank this? There's this much tequila left." And then he goes,
Now it's vodka
and there was 3 joints just roaches.
right here. And I'm like,
Maybe I was a little more fucked up with that.
I go, it's legal.
Yeah.
It's
What's the
legal.
problem here?
It's a fucking problem.
My heart just started, and I just face first twice.
You ready?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's do this. Ready? What up, what up, what up? We are back. Fucking Tuesday night, Dustin.
Yeah. Well, what do you want from me?
Jesus, come on, dude. You act like I don't have them.
My weekends are full.
We got Tomas back here. We got him back. He had to fill out an application again and run. I had to do a whole set on how to run all the equipment again. But he's back. Right? It's been a minute.
Yes.
Background check cleared.
Background, yep, he's clear. I thought ice took you away, dog. Shit, dog.
I thought they took both of you. I'm glad to see you both.
They know my ass ain't fucking Mexican.
Yeah,
dog.
they're like, well, let's
I'm
see
the
that back
I'm
tap.
the
We got some-
whitest. I'm the whitest fucking Mexican you know, dog. But today's guest, yes, we all know Nestor's in the house, so we know we got a country guy here. We do, and he played last night at the best place you could fucking probably play at, Red Rocks. I mean, that's the fucking pinnacle, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's top dog.
I mean,
You bet.
them, Madison Square Garden. I mean,
That's all you can remember.
maybe Vegas now where the Raiders are.
Oh, the Superdome.
Cowboy Stadium. I mean, that's probably it. You know what I mean? That I was thinking, but I don't know. Mr. Mike Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
Yeah. What you're saying?
How we feeling?
Yeah.
GU Unfiltered in the house.
Well, I gotta say, like, it's kind of crazy that I've known you for a little bit now, and because of this guy, and I've kind of known you, and from day one, you have just been just the guy that I can get along with. Nothing's ever changed, and you remind me of somebody I know that we just talked to a little bit ago. That like, fame doesn't really change you, money doesn't change you, just who you are. And I always say that's like goes back to who raised you.
Sure.
And where you come from. And I, when I listen to your music, and that's a question on my list with you. Do you write all your music?
I try to have as much of a say in it as I can.
Yeah.
I co-write a lot of it. I've
Cool.
written some by myself. I've taken a few outside cuts as well, but all the albums that I've put out, most of them have been either written solo or co-written by me.
Because I could 100%, like, every time I hear a song, and I'm like, because I kind of know you, I'm not BFF, with you like Nestor is, you know what I mean? But hey, I feel like I've known
You're
you
my
now.
only BFF.
I feel like I've known you now for a while, now a few years,
Yeah.
and I see you, and like I just kind of know the person that you are and what kind of music you sing now, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't know two shits about a lot of these guys that came in here. I didn't know who Coetzel was. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know anybody. This guy, Dylan Wheeler, I didn't know. This guy just baptized me. Who was the other one? Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Randall King.
Randall King.
What a dick.
I
mean, fuck, we don't have to throw him in the mix here.
My man. I don't know,
No,
but I don't know. Like, we would just be here after we do podcasts, and he would fucking just Mike Ryan be on, and I'm like, yeah, I can fucking. And next thing I see you in Lyman, Colorado.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pronghorn camp.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's so cool because that's how it's all kind of evolved. But so, like, when I hear your music, and I'm like, fuck, this guy's a real G. Like, I like, and like I said, like, I gotta give kudos to who raised you, mom and dad, aunts, grandpas. I don't know.
And you met his dad in Antelope Camp.
Yep, I did. Okay,
dude, we had the
that's
privilege.
right.
He had his parents here.
Yeah.
And listen, Mike's, it's crazy you say that. Greatest parents. I mean, the greatest people you could ever meet. And his mom is just, I'm not kidding you, just the amount of information that she can.
She's very educated.
She's a very educated woman.
And continuing
Soft-spoken.
education has always been a big part of her life. Like, she's always learning, and it's just been really cool to have that sort of influence on me, because, like, she's done a lot of really cool things in her life and supported us in every way. But even now that she's retired, like, I've played probably 20 shows with Riley, and she was telling me things that I didn't even know about him, just because she knew I was playing with him.
That's
she was coming to the show,
cool.
and so she's
research.
researching and telling me all this stuff about him. I'm like, God damn, all right. Well, that's
Yeah,
that's
well,
cool,
she's
a
doing,
wealth of knowledge.
She's doing homework. It's
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when I talked to Nestor, and he told me, he's like, hey, are you down to do a podcast? I said, absolutely, because I'm going to tell you right now, like, I love having, this different demographic, but you're a fucking hunter yourself, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that from fucking facts. I've been there in Canton. We were talking this at the bar up there. You've killed fucking a big ass deer here in Lyman with this guy.
Yes, I have.
Like
Big
188, 4-point.
Yeah.
Brows broke.
Yeah,
He was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 kickers broke as well.
He did. Yeah, he had.
That's
There
a
was all
big one.
kinds of stuff, like, and I didn't realize that until, of course, he was on the ground. But
Yeah. No ground
like whenever,
shrinkage.
no, not at all. Like, and when it's happening, it's hard to, like, really, put it all into perspective. There's so much happening. It's kind of a stressful, a lot of things happening at once, and we knew he was a giant, the one that we wanted. And but when we were going to get him mounted, my taxidermist was like, so should we fix these points that are broken? I was like, I don't think we need to. I think just the way that he is
My
great.
bitch ass would have said, hell yeah, make them longer too.
But no, I
Yeah,
mean,
what else can you help
he
us
was a
out?
damn
God
stud,
dang.
man.
Makes you want to go to the taxidermist with your pants around your ankles,
Can we fix this?
Yeah, put a drop
Can we-
time on that son of a bitch.
Hit the sidewalk kicker.
It doesn't have to be red either,
Make those bases a little bigger. You can.
Oh. But anyway, so like you literally have done it all. Like so I've did a little. I don't do fucking homework, man. I free ball this shit all the time, right?
It's my kind of guy.
But like Mike, I have a lot of respect for you. So I went on iTunes. I pulled up a lot of music, and I was like, oh man, I like this one. And I've heard, because this guy has a man crush on you numerous times, songs,
What a dude.
right? And I'm just keeping it real, right? Don't be jealous, Co.
I don't know why I bring people over here.
Because it's a good time. But anyways, I was like listening, and like, so you come from like a background full of music,
Oh yeah.
like the whole background of your story is all musician.
Yes.
Like you started playing instruments.
Very young age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like my dad's side of the family is big into music. My grandfather was the one that taught me how to love music. But dad, I watched growing up, you know, he was in musical theater. He was in several a cappella groups and choirs and things. And so we were, you know, a couple times a month, it seemed we were going out to watch dad perform somewhere. And, you know, early on, I'll admit, you know, music wasn't my favorite thing because it was kind of like a chore at times. Like I'd have to clean my room, take the trash out, and I'd have to play some sort of instrument for an hour every day. And it wasn't because I wanted to, it's because I had to.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I just started to kind of appreciate it. And then when I was in high school, I was playing football with a guy that was writing songs and playing guitar. And it's like, well, shit, dude, I got guitars around the house and I feel like I can do what you do. And I started playing guitar when I was in high school. When I got to college, met a couple guys that did the same, and just kind of, as soon as I started, it was like the passion for it grew exponentially immediately. It was like the more that I learned, the more
was it the
I wanted to know.
passion of you loving it, or just the attention that you got from others?
Well, I'll be honest, the attention didn't come for a while.
Really?
You know? No, I it was like as soon as I learned how to play a new chord or learned a new song, it was like I was digging myself deeper into this thing, and it was just like I've never had the passion for anything like I had for guitar when I started playing. Like as soon as I started playing, so I was dating a girl in high school that was a year older, so she moved off to college, and my senior year, the first semester of my senior year, I was playing football, so I really was just kind of busy doing that. But as soon as I finished up our senior season, that second semester, I had a lot of time on my hands all of a sudden. Didn't have early morning workouts or after school practice, and so I would come home and just sit in the bedroom and play guitar until I went to bed. So it was like 4 or 5 hours a day I was just playing guitar. And every time I learned, like I was saying, I could play bar chords or these just different kind of small little milestones that you hit when you're playing. Like it's not so clumsy to play and sing at the same time, or pick a little bit of lead, you know, do those kind of things. And every new thing that I learned just inspired me even more. And so for 3 or 4 years, like that's all I did. I mean, I played guitar, and when I was, I mean, to the detriment of my college education, because I went to class sometimes, but there was other times when
You just said fuck
I
it.
just would wake up in the morning and felt like I didn't need to go to class today, and I'm just going to stay in my dorm room and play. And so, yeah, I mean, I wasn't the best student, but at the end of the day, I realized in college they're teaching me a bunch of shit I don't need to know. And so
I realized
just
that
like-
about 2 weeks in.
yeah,
I didn't even have a fucking
I
instrument.
realized that the second year I took third grade. No
Yeah.
bullshit. No
Yeah.
bullshit.
yeah.
But like literally, I was like, oh fuck this. I'm just gonna school of hard knocks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fight the white kids in Nebraska.
I'm gonna wrestle.
I'm a ref.
I'm gonna wrestle.
Yeah.
But that's cool because here's what I like about the whole story is like you went to go do it. You played football, and you're a solid dude. I mean, I sized you up already. I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of did this, but when I first met you, I was like, oh shit. Okay, I gotta be sober when I fuck with him.
Yeah. You might have to pack a lunch.
Yeah, I gotta pack a lunch, right? So I was like, fuck, I would be his friend.
Yeah. Right.
So I
Same.
let's be friends, right? So you played football, and you just went to school. You did everything like you were, like we're brought up to do, right? You raised right, you go to college, but then you found out like, hey, this is something I can fuck with. Like, when did the gigs start happening? Like when you were playing in garages, Were you like Richie Valens in La Bamba or what? How was it? Or did you play like?
God, what a comparison! God rest his soul.
That's what I know.
He has
Though,
a flight tomorrow going home. Just
God damn. Stop. Okay. I'm just talking about my people, right?
I know.
Okay.
No.
I like because that's like, garage bands is when it starts, right? Like
Sure.
when you start playing. Obviously, you played in college,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Did bars happen then, or what happened?
Yeah. So when I first got up to school, I lived in the dorms the first year, and then the second year, my sophomore year of college, I moved out and I was living in an apartment by myself, and continuing kind of the same thing. I worked at a bar called Rock and Rodeo in Denton, Texas, which every Thursday they would have everybody that all the Texas country acts pretty much would come through and play there, and I was a bouncer, and so every week I would see a new band come through, and they had a lot of the guys that came through, they would make, as a part of the promo deal, they would wrap a guitar, and then they would just hang the guitars up on the wall, and I was encouraged by some and dissuaded by others, but mostly encouraged by some of the bar owners that after hours we would hang out, and I'd pull a guitar off the wall, tune it up, and just start playing for the bar staff. And at this point, I hadn't put a band together. I was just doing acoustic stuff and made a couple of friends and was playing open mics, and that was kind of how it started. And for a couple of years, that's all I really did. But then I got a gig. The bar owner, there was two bars. It was Lloyd Banks, who owned Rock and Rodeo and our bar there in Denton. And he was like, man, you should really, try and put a band together, and was encouraging me. He had managed a couple other artists. It was involved with Eli Young Band, who came out of Denton as well. And so he was kind of teaching me a few things here and there. But yeah, so I put a band together, and we were terrible, but we got a gig, and so we played. And the first probably, I don't know, 50 shows that I had actually booked, not just open mics that I'd played or other shows that I'd hopped on with my buddies that played too, but shows that actually had my name on the marquee. The days leading up to it, I was all fired up, and I'd go around town telling everybody, hey, come out to the show and let's have a good time. But the day of the show, I'd wake up with this pit in my stomach, like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into?
Why did I invite all those people?
God damn, now they're all going to find out I'm a fraud. Like, this is, this sucks. And so I would just be nervous as I could be. And then the show would start. The first song, as soon as I'd get about halfway through the first song, and it was just like every bit of that nervous energy just gone. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm not going to say I was great back then. I still had a lot to learn, but I knew I was doing what I was meant to do. And the more I played, the more I realized that. And so that's just kind of how it started. The first band that I played my first show with, those guys, like, I think my drummer lasted like one or two shows, and then he was like, he had other shit to do. And and since then, I mean, I've gone through plenty of members of the band in each position, but there was a lot of turnover. But that's just kind of how it goes. You're figuring it out, like trying to
it ain't the right fit for some people.
Sure. And it's hard to book shows when you don't have a band, and it's hard to book a band when you don't have the shows. And so it's like you just have to find who you can. And there was nights I'd played 2 or 3 shows a week, and I'd have player every night or a different drummer every night. And so you're just like rehearsing constantly and hoping for the best, and just kind of grinding and doing what you can. And that was, those first several years, I was fortunate that I'd kind of built a little network of these acoustic shows where I could go during the week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and play my acoustic shows and make couple $100, whatever. And then on the weekends, I would play full band shows, and we'd get $400 a night, $500 a night. We play for 4 hours, you know, do 4 sets. And I didn't make a dime, but I made enough to pay the band.
Yeah.
And then I was able to pay my bills playing the acoustic shows during the week. So, I mean, for several years, I was playing 3-4 hours a week and making it work. But, you know, I mean,
It's
we're
fucking
living
tough.
pretty lean.
Bro,
You know.
I this is like, how many people you've brought here? And this is like the first guy that's actually
Talked about this part.
like this part,
Yeah.
right? And it's no different than a fucking fighter.
Sure.
No.
Like coming through the rankings. Like this is me as a fighter. Like I lived underneath the boxing ring because my bitch ass just couldn't. Like I was like barely making it when I was fighting in the UFC. Like literally, it was nothing. Like still nothing, right? And
Yeah.
like
the pinnacle of his career.
yeah, like I'm like,
I mean,
your
they
Red
didn't pay.
Rocks,
They didn't.
your
pay.
Red Rocks, my UFC, right? But
Yeah.
it all trickled down to where it's supposed to be, right? Like where I'm at now to coaching now. It's just the relevant of the game. Like UFC is such a new sport still, and I wouldn't change anything that I went through, right? But what you just literally said, though, like it's like what fighters go through every fucking time. Like no shit. Like literally, it's a couple $100, dude. I remember the first time I went to go sign up for a fight, I paid $125 to get my.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to be a cage fighter, so I paid and drove 9 hours away, right? So that was just me buying my card and getting in and doing it. And like literally, I was like, oh, I can fucking do this. But when you said like you had that pit in your stomach, dude, that's the same thing. Like anything, like when you come out to perform, because we all are performers, right?
Yeah.
Like when you fight, we're performing to buying pay-per-views, buying a concert ticket, right?
Yeah.
Dude, every time I would look out the stage, and I was always in the later fights in the card, right? So I was like looking at the crowd screaming, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like literally, like why the fuck am I doing? I'm thinking in every way how to get the fuck out of this fight. Like, how can I get
diarrhea over here.
how can I get my show money and get the fuck out of here and not fight? Right?
That's a bad way was
Right. Like for real. But then as soon as I started getting my tans taped, and I got close to my fight, and they were like, you're in the hole. Get ready. You still got those fucking jitters. You're still fucking, but you're, like it took me I had to go to a nasty place in my head to fight. Now these guys are fucking trained just athletes, right? Like, no, I literally, because I wasn't that trained. I was a wrestler that knew how to hit hard with little boxing skills at the time, right? Like, and so I just had to take myself to a different place, and I didn't have the training that these guys have now, and I just had to go to a deep place. By the time I was ready, when the curtain fucking opened up and it was time for me to hang my walk, don't look at me, motherfuckers. You're about to get smoked. You know what I mean? Like I'm just on a different level, right? But once oh yeah, this is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Like I could not ask to be at a better place.
Yeah.
And it's a different high that nobody knows until you do that high that you enjoy, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that dopamine drop you get
it's nuts,
from the performance aspect of it is just it's hasn't been matched in many things. I mean, big hunts, like there's a lot of stuff that you work really hard for and finally get it to work. I mean, that's kind of a similar thing, but like with music, and it's not every night. I mean, we have great nights. Like last night at Red Rocks was the best show I've ever played, probably, and the best that we've sounded, and then like a pinnacle, like you're talking about.
That's that place, dude. That's that magical place.
Special place.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking up, like even at sound check, I found myself walking out on the stage in front of
I
it.
bet, right?
And the empty, like the whole thing, the amphitheater is empty, but I'm just looking up at these stands, and I remember like, I'm going to have to wear my hat backwards tonight because with the bill forwards, I can't see the top half of the crowd. So like I have to fucking take it all in.
Take it all in.
So, I was just finding myself, having to choke back or hold back tears, like just being emotional walking around. Cause like, we found out probably 6 months ago that we were playing the show, but I found out about Red Rocks probably 10 years ago. And it was just like, this is the goal, and you hope for the best. And sometimes things that you really want to happen never do. And sometimes they do. And this is one of those things. It's like, I've been wanting this for so long. And it's not like you can just do it. Like you have to be approved for it. You have to be invited to it. Like it's a club that you can't just pay your way into. Like you got to earn it. And so, all those kind of thoughts and emotions that I'd had for the last 10 or 15 years, it's like, holy shit, we're here, we're doing it, and it could not have gone any better. And I've obviously, from the first story that I told about my acoustic shows to Red Rocks, like we've skipped a lot of shit. I'm gonna we'll go back and go through all the other stuff too. But
because real quick, like you are native in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
So Texas is like, country music, capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, do you feel like, is it, even a lot of Texas people go to like Nashville and try to get their career started, blah, blah, blah. But you've done it all there in Texas, right?
He does Latin.
For the most part. I mean, I've always lived in Texas, but I was fortunate enough to get a publishing deal with a company called Seagill. And that was back in 2013, and they're in Nashville. So for 7 years, I would go once a month for about a week. I'd go out to Nashville and stay out there, and sometimes I would play, but I would write. I'd get out there, like fly out. We'd have shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. I'd fly out to Nashville, and Monday through Wednesday or Thursday, I would write, and then
no shit.
That was just like, I did that for pretty much 7 years. 2020 was when my deal with Seagull ended, but of course continued writing since, and I've made a ton of great relationships with folks out there. My booking agent or WME is who books me, and so they're based out of, they're based all over, New York, LA, Nashville, but they're WME Nashville is who I've had the most relationships with. But I've always had ties there, and I'm by no means like Nashville's I've never been based out of there. I have a lot of love for people there, and there were times when I would entertain moving out there, but I started a family, and so we're all staying in Texas, and I'd all along been, my career started in Texas, and the bulk of my business is done there. So I have massive love for Nashville, but I've just never been based out of there.
Okay.
The roots are in Texas.
But
the roots are Texas. You play at Billy Bob's?
Oh yeah. We played there a bunch of times.
Yeah. So
his dad got on stage with him at Billy Bob's. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, just about every time.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is what I've gathered from, my whole of my getting into, the country and Texans, and Billy Bob's a pretty big deal, right?
Dude,
hell yeah.
I got to take you down there, man.
So
it's cool.
That's going to be like my next trip is like, I want to go to Billy Bob's and go down there and experience that.
It's great, man. And that you talk about kind of bucket list things. I mean, as a Texas artist, Billy Bob's is like you kind of made it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that hope for that gig that never get it. And a lot. It's such a special place. I mean, since I think it was built in 73 or the 70s, whatever. And anybody in country music has played Billy Bob's, whether they're based in Texas or anywhere. The people that play the main stage at Billy Bob's are somebody, and there's a couple of different stages that they have there. There's a honky tonk stage, which is in the front, and even that gig is kind of prestigious. Like it's cool. I mean, that the crowd there is somewhat built in. It's in the stockyards of Fort Worth.
So
which
there's
is a
multiple
big tourist
stages
place.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like the Grizzly Rose on steroids. It's
Okay.
huge. How many people does it hold?
It used to be 5,000 cap. They changed it to like 442, 4,500.
So it's a
Inside.
big venue. It's a
Yeah.
big venue.
Yeah.
Indoor.
Yeah, inside.
Okay.
So, yeah, all along it's just been one of those, like, you hope you get the chance to play it, and I've been, very fortunate. Matter of fact, a big part of my career, I feel like, is because of that relationship that I've had with some of the folks at Billy Bob's. There's a guy named Robert Gallagher who's back when they opened in the 70s, he was the backstage manager. And from then on, for the last 50 years, he's been the guy. And everybody knows him in the music business and country music business. He's like, famous, infamous. Like he's the guy. Like he's got stories for days about every artist you can think of. But I actually owe a good bit of my career success to him because I was based in Fort Worth at the time. This was probably 2012. And there's a radio station there called 95.9 The Ranch, which they had like a kind of a battle of the bands deal.
Yeah.
And every week you'd get in front of a panel of judges, and they was at a barbecue restaurant, and I would play, and if you did well enough, you get voted on to the next week and the next week, and it was like a 6-week thing, and I ended up winning the whole thing. And
So you were the original America's Got Talent.
yes,
Well,
this wasn't televised. Some of the stuff
Texas style,
was on
right?
the radio, but
Yeah.
it was just an acoustic thing that I did, and was able to have some success with it. But part of when every week when you win, you get a chance to open up for a different artist at a little bigger venue, and I got to open up for Turnpike Troubadours one time, which was really cool. I've played a few shows with them since, but that was kind of when they were in their big rise, and so it was really cool to be a part of that. But I did my first record in 2010, and my second record was, I think, in 2012. And when we recorded that second record, my manager at the time had given a bunch of copies of my record to Robert, who's the backstage manager there. And Chris Dubois, who's one of the owners of Seagull, was in town because Jared Neiman and Wade Bowen were both Seagull artists, and they were playing back-to-back nights at Billy Bob's. And when Chris was there, he got to talking with Robert, and he had never really done this before, but he was just, I don't know, something about my records was speaking to him, and he was like, "Hey, I really think you should listen to this guy." And what Chris was saying afterwards, he was like, to be honest, as much as I loved Robert, when he handed me that CD, my expectations were not that high.
Yeah.
Because being the owner of a publishing company, he's getting dozens of records every week for people that are hoping to get a publishing deal. He's listening to all kinds of bullshit, and most of it is not worth signing. But for whatever reason, he put that CD in and listened to it, liked what he heard, and got a hold of us afterwards. And he was like, "Hey, whenever you come to Nashville next time, let me know." And I'd never been to Nashville before, but I was like, "Okay, let's figure out how the fuck to get to Nashville."
Yeah.
And so,
Of course, right?
yeah. And so, a month or two later, I went out to town, and as luck would have it, I just caught some sort of a upper respiratory infection. So I was sick as a dog, and I sang like my voice was all but gone.
Kissing.
And we played this. Well, maybe
Kissing.
I don't remember what I was doing back then, but
Kissing.
and you mentioned pay to play. There was a place called the Basement Bar in Nashville. I actually had to pay $150 to buy a slot to play.
Yep.
And it was a room that held about 75. And I went in there and did my best to sing. And truth be told, I feel like Chris had made up his mind before I even showed up that he wanted to do something with me. So whatever I did didn't matter that night, but I limped through that set. And then the next day we had a meeting with him and he offered me a publishing deal on the spot, which was like, holy shit.
What
Like,
it's what everybody hopes to get, right? It's money.
so, yeah. And
you
that
want
was
money
like,
to do what your craft is.
exactly. And, at this point I was making a little bit better money. I'd made it out of some of those $500 gigs, but I was playing a lot more acoustic shows, but I was by no means set or even comfortable.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Hey man, I really like what you do and I'd love to write with you. I'd love to bring you in with a lot of these other writers up here and I think you can really do some cool stuff." And that publishing deal, it was more than just the money. It was just like somebody believing in me and giving me a shot, and that was my first kind of big break. And it was like, $30 grand a year that I was going to be getting to write songs. I was like, holy shit, dude, this is real money, and, of course it wasn't enough to take care of everything, but it was like what I'm already doing. Plus this is like, damn,
it's
like,
so funny.
I'll come out here every month,
so
I'll do what you want, let's do it.
It's so funny you say it because I can relate to it in so many different levels. Like when I first got my first sponsor check, that was like, damn, I could actually pay my rent.
Yeah, I know where my next fucking meals come from.
And
I have
like,
to
when I launched this podcast, right, I had no idea where the fuck it was going. He's been here from day one, and I would never this.
We started in that corner.
I was over there in the corner.
Now you're in this corner.
Yeah. No. And I'd be like, hey, are we doing another one of those deals in your garage? He
here.
goes, stop calling my fucking studio a garage.
but
Like, well, there's a garage door in your studio, just so you know.
It's a big door, okay? Ventilation. But anyways, so like when I started putting more focus into like podcasting, and I got sponsored for $10,000, right? And I was like, dude, that's kind of a big deal, I thought. So I took and I framed $10,000. I spent that shit already.
I know.
That didn't look like a $10,000 stack right there.
Yeah.
It was like you put a $100 bill on top of a bunch of
it's a gangster roll.
postcards or something.
It's a gangster roll.
Yeah,
But anyway,
every time you look at that, I'm surprised that hasn't been broke.
Yeah.
But like I get it though, like because once you start making like a money of something like a craft that you do, right? Like it's a big deal. Like even you, Nestor, when you started making bigger money because god damn, I'm outfitting big deer. It's you gotta be, like literally be like, this shit is really happening.
Yeah.
In every aspect, and that's what we all expect, right? Like we all want that dream.
I think every success story usually has. It's cool to hear Mike's story because every success story in any part of business or performing or whatever, a good success story has that you grinded from the bottom.
Well, I mean that's the truth, though.
I mean, I remember.
And there's so many guys that have quit before they've actually made it, and it sucks because like,
it's fucking tough.
It's
man.
tough because shit happens, family happens, death happens, life, period, right? Like it's fucking crazy. And I would have never guessed like my podcast now would
Me
be
either.
here.
Me either.
So like in COVID happened, right? Like I work at a gym. I'm a fighter. I'm a coach. They closed all our gyms down. They're like, you get the fuck, especially here in Colorado, how fucking bad this state is, right? We closed down. They'd find us every time we'd go in there to work out. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, damn, I'm scratching my head. My wife's still in healthcare, so she's in the front lines of it. And I'm like, I'm over here fucking her every time she's seeing clients that have COVID. So I'm irresistible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
also
immune.
hard to believe.
I'm fucking immune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm immune to this shit, right?
Mexicans can't get COVID.
You know what
That's
I mean?
all we
Like,
need.
I was like, oh shit, this is good. But then they closed the fucking gym down, and I was like, damn, what am I gonna do for money? I gotta help out, like this and that. And I'm like, fuck. So then I cleaned this bitch out, started doing like classes on fucking, I don't even know, internet. Like, people would watch you and, send you money to, and I'm like, this is fucking not what I want to do,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I would go on Cafaro Cast, right? With Snyder, Big
Very
Backpack,
well known. Yeah, big bow hunter.
Big Bow Hunter.
Yep.
And Joe Rogan would listen to their podcast all the time, and he'd be like, dude, tell Aaron to put you as a co-host and, you know, pay you there. And I'm like, no, dude, they already pay me. They sponsor me.
Yeah.
I'm good, you know? They're like, well, no, you need to get paid. And whatever happened, he goes, well, start your own then. And I'm the most untack, like, IT guy you'll ever meet. Like, you know, I just know how to punch people in the face, and that's it. You know, I cause damage.
Yeah, this is the
That's it.
smoothest it's ever gone. Because every time I put these headphones on, these motherfuckers, I can't hear nothing. And he cusses Tomas. I don't think Tomas has a fucking idea.
We got this shit down now. This is like podcast 241 here, 241. So we done it with, but you know, and then finally when COVID hit, I was like, fuck it. I hit these motherfuckers up and I said, tell me about this podcast gig, right? He sends me a fucking, he goes, I'll have Jamie send you over a invoice of what you need. It was like 30 grand. I was like, you're on crack if you think I'm going to spend 30 grand on shit that I don't even know how to work.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, you know, I got way over 30 grand now in the thing, but I know how to work it, right? And so I asked Snyder, I was like, hey, do you have any shit? And he's like, oh, I got a bunch of stuff. Come over and get it. I bought some shit on Amazon. I think I started the whole podcast gig with $1,500 maybe. And I think I had more inventory in liquor and booze
Yeah.
Than you did in mics.
than I did in
I
mics
didn't know
and
anyone
sound
listened.
check.
We were getting drunker and shit. I was telling stories I would never tell because I just thought I was talking to him. The next day, I'm like, dog, we can't air this. How many times have I said that? We can't air this. And he goes, people love it, man.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Talking about my great aunt and
That's
shit
good
There's only been like 2 episodes
that we didn't air.
didn't air, and I was like,
I was on both of them.
it's been 2, and I had a great time. And I thought I might have got divorced one time on one of them, but I literally was like, holy shit, yeah, we can't fucking air these.
This is the
So-
Pendleton days, remember?
Oh god, we get whiskey fucking bent, bro. And it was not good. But
I think it was
it
great.
led me to where I'm at now. And you know what's so cool about it is we haven't changed one fucking bit. Just kind of like, you know, modern the, you know, 3-hour podcast into, you know, hour and a half now before we get too fucked up.
Mhm.
But like the companies, you know, I work with some big companies, right? And I was like, God damn, dude, how the fuck are you working with me?
Have you not listened to the first 10 podcasts?
I'm like, what the fuck? I want to know like how like some of these companies work. So I always ask them, like, why do you work with me? Like, I want to know like what separates. There's tons of podcasts out there, and there's tons of people, and they're like, you hit a good demographic. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, you know, the fighting demographic, you know, the hunting world, but we just can't reach your demographic that you get. And I'm like, what, the dumb drunk redneck motherfuckers or what?
There's a lot of us.
There's
out
a
here.
lot of us. That's what I'm saying. It's dumb, dude, because when you're just true and be the person that you are
Yeah.
and quit trying to fake something that you're not, dude, you go a lot further in life, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Just be you.
everybody's not buttoned up and professional
Yeah.
and saying the correct thing every time. I mean,
Being yourself.
even if you're stumbling on your words and you don't quite get
I
it
make
out
my
right,
own
like,
words, dog.
people understand that.
Yeah,
They're like,
they
it
get
makes
it.
you more relatable. You know,
They do.
So,
They're like, oh, this motherfucker
entertaining.
the same way. That's all we are is entertainment. I make my own words.
Epical. He has a
Epical.
shirt that says epical. on it.
That fucking
He goes,
plate
dude,
right
this
there.
fucking podcast is epical.
We've
Well,
grown.
what does that mean?
We've
And
That's
we-
better than
we
epic.
create- yeah. What do you mean, dude?
He
This
put it on a
it's like-
shirt. Some bitch sold
It's
left and right.
magical and epical.
Yeah,
at
dude.
the
It's
same
fucking
time.
like
Epic and
it's
magical.
it's hitting all the spots that we all wish we could hit. The
Yeah.
G spot.
Where is that, by the way?
Yeah.
People, there's a guy. There's
I've never heard of
there
her.
was a guy a while back. He goes, I said, ask me a question. I said, and you know, on social media, I was like, I wrote one of those things, ask me a question. He was like, hey, where are you going? When are you gonna shoot an elk? And I said, dude, elk are like fucking a G spot. You can't find them. I can't find him, dog. It's not my nature, dog. But it's been so fun. But like, I'm just true to people, and like, and I can relate to guys like yourself because the stories that you just told me of when you started to now where you're at, you're playing at Red Rocks, dude. Like, this is such an like, it's in my back door right there, right? And like, it is such an amazing place to play. To even just be there, could you imagine just being a spectator to watch one of your country singers fucking play there?
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's
yes,
fucking
absolutely.
nuts.
And since I've been there now,
Now you're gonna want to come
wait
back.
to go back.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I've kind of had these goals all along. Like, you know, there's certain festivals and venues.
God
like
damn.
Billy Bob's was different because like when I was in college, I started going out and watching shows there, and so that was one that I'd been to a dozen times before I ever got to play it. But there's others like, you know, Larry Joe Taylor Festival or it's out in Chili Fest or in outside of College Station. But like, I never went to Larry Joe Taylor Festival before I played it. It was on purpose. Like, I had plenty of opportunities to go. A lot of my friends played it, but I was like, you know what, man, I don't even want to be there until they're having me.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the first time that I was invited to play, it was like, here we are, you know. And
Frontier Days might be another
That's another
big
major.
one.
That's so I've played
major one.
Cheyenne, but I've not played Frontier Days.
That was the other one just hit me. It was like we were talking about Madison Square Garden, Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I think Frontier Days is another
It's a daddy
big
mall
one.
for the rodeo and 30,000 people. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, the headline, that's a major.
When
deal.
you said that, right? It just hit me. Like, I was thinking of like, where do people want to fight and where do people want to sing it, right? Like in my world. Yeah, that is
a big
perfect.
gig, yeah.
I did not want to go to a UFC until I was going to be on a card.
Yeah.
Never did.
I
never
I
did.
know the feeling, man. You know,
Motivated.
and it's not
never
because
did.
I'm jealous or like
no,
any of that. It's just like
part
there's
of
just
me
something-
though was I was too broke to go to UFC.
Well, sure. And for me, like, honestly, like, I had some friends of mine, or one of my best friends from high school went to College Station. He went to A&M, and I feel like I spent more time hanging out in College Station than I did in Denton when I went to school. But I went to Chili Fest with him just about every year and enjoyed my time. It was awesome. Maybe a little too much, but Larry Joe Taylor was always like a couple of weeks after Chili Fest. And after sleeping in the fucking dirt and being as drunk and as hungover as I've ever been, it's like I was kind of festivaled out for a while. So I just didn't have the gas to go to LJT. But then once it was like I was out of college and I was playing shows, I made up my mind. I had plenty of opportunities to go there, LJT, and I was living in Denton, which was only an hour away from Stephenville or so. Or maybe